When the possibility came, I had a couple of offers, one really, other offers, one really concrete. But when this possibility came, as I said already in the press conference, I love the Belgian football. It's a league that, and I'm not saying this just because I'm here, but actually it was one of the motivations. The possibility to work in a league where, and in a country where people really love football, there's a lot of culture of football. So the first thing I did was to observe and to absorb. I think it's very important to understand where you are. Of course, I love the idea of coaching in Belgium, in the Jupiter League, but also it's very important to understand where you are. So to understand the place, so I repeated a lot of myself, observe, look, hear, listen, and try to respect the place in which you are. First of all, it's a beautiful town with a beautiful square, nice atmosphere. The last 2 days also we are blessed with the wonderful weather. I don't know if it's gonna last, but my first impression is that on the surface maybe it's a quiet place, but people, they have a lot of passion, like it says in the club, with fire inside. So, and I think I also have those values, you know, to be calm, but also with a lot of passion and fire inside. The most important business card, so to speak, of a coach is how the team plays. Ideally, I want a team that plays with aggressiveness, that is with the ball and without the ball, that wants to make the play, that wants to make the game. I want players that they are going to be brave and courageous with the ball, that they very competitive. And then also you have to respect the opposition. We're going to play against teams that they are very strong, traditionally, historically, and that maybe have more resources. But we also want to have our own identity and to play eye to eye and with everybody, with not with arrogance, in an humble way, but in a focused way, in a very competitive way. Very early I was, like many young guys, I was in love with football. I was crazy about football. In an era where we didn't have internet, but I tried to get as many info, as many news as possible from wherever. And I was playing football, but I was really interested in the organization. I love to watch teams, I love to watch different systems. It's a passion that I had since young age, I don't know why, but I love to play, but if I have to be honest, my real dream was not necessarily to be a player. Maybe I wouldn't have been good enough anyway, but it was to be a coach. That was what really motivated me, studying organization and try to be like the coach of each team, in which youth teams in which I played. For me it was a passion that I always had. It was in England, yeah, because I moved to England. I just went there to try to improve my English and then I had this possibility to work. And then the first job was offer. I got it from West Ham, and then working again with young players. And then I stayed there for 7 years at the West Ham. Is renowned at the time to be, they call him the academy, so probably was the most historical youth system in England. Then after, things changed with more resources, with different rules, but I was very lucky to work in a club that they spend a lot of time and a lot of resources in developing young players. And you know, many since the 60s, when they won the World Cup, they had the captain, Bobby Moore, was from West Ham. And more recently, they had Rio Ferdinand, Frank Lampard, Michael Carrick, Joe Cole. So many players. I was really in the right place to work with young players. Well, many beautiful memories. One is the first time at Wembley, going into the changing room with some of the best players in the world and with one of the most iconic manager in the world. And for me, it was a dream come true to be there, to be able to be part of that staff, to learn from the best and to be on the pitch with some of the best players in the world. So I remember the first game against Switzerland, that it was a friendly game. And I remember also the first qualification games, it was in Croatia. It actually was the day of my birthday. And I remember that we managed to win against a very strong Croatian team 4-1 in, I think, in the capital. And then Theo Walcott, I think, scored a hat-trick that day. And again, yeah, it was an unbelievable moment. There are also many more, but the first games, all games are in my memory, but these two special memories. And then also qualifying, winning the first 9 out of 9, and then qualifying for the World Cup in South Africa was a special moment. Yeah, there are two. One is the most iconic, and is the Agüero goal. I was part of that team and part of that staff. It was special in many different ways. First, because it was the first title after so many years. And it was not as easy as people could imagine, because you still had in front clubs that had a lot of history and tradition and resources: the Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, and also Tottenham. At the time was very strong like it is now, and that was to put the base on what it would have happened afterwards with Pellegrini, and then more lately with Guardiola. But also a great memory was the win of the FA Cup the year before, because it was my first year in a club that was trying to become the great club. It was a great vision that the property from Abu Dhabi and the president Khaldoon Al Mubarak that they had. And with some of them is the third day that we work together, but my general impression, I don't want to talk about one, but again, not because it's convenient, because it's true. I've been impressed with all of them. For me, it's very important that the fans have got this connection, especially with the team, that they really enjoy. When they see the team playing, they need to be proud, that they need to be wanting to watch the team, to be supportive, and to really feel, I am so happy that my team plays this way. And I always put myself in the shoes of the supporters, and that also, not just during the games, but also during training. And that's why I always demand intensity, because I remember being a fan, and I also imagine that my team, I grew up as a Roma supporter, that my team was training hard, was doing the best during the week to win games in the weekend. And we need to have this respect, especially for every fan, especially for the young fan, because they are really the life of the football club, and they need to go and be proud of STVV when they go to school, when they go to work. They need to feel, I am looking forward to see the next game and the one after. I had many because I was lucky that I was young in an era where Roma was a very strong team. Roma didn't win many titles, won only 3, and when I was growing up as a passionate fan, they won one of those 3. So it was in the 80s, and we had our first idol. My first idol was at the Roma was Falcao, is a Brazilian midfielder that also played in the World Cup. And later became also a coach of the national team. He was a special player for us. Bruno Conti, that was a very technical player. Pruzzo, that was the striker, but many. I love the coach, that was Nils Lidom, a Swedish guy. We also had a special young midfielder, Carlo Ancelotti, that after became, obviously. And I had the chance also to know them and also to work with them, because the goalkeeper also was one of our favorite player, Tancredi, was the goalkeeping coach of Fabio Capello in the England national team. So for me to work with him also was a dream come true. So yes, there he was lucky enough to see this team and to have as idols guys that they were absolutely legend for us. No, one thing that they will tell you for sure is that I was very passionate about football. Calm, but with this passion, not just for full curiosity, for different things. Music. It was a period in which everybody was also dreaming to play in a band, playing real music. Everybody used to do that. Reading books, going to the movies, socializing. We didn't have internet, so we were a little bit more lucky to have no social media but social life, to interact with people. I'm not saying that the youngsters don't do, and my son is 18, my daughter is 13, and they also have friends, of course. But I think for us it was, maybe we had a bigger social life and was growing up in Rome. It was a big part of being together, going out with friends and going to eat together and in pizzeria and the usual things that you do as a normal kid, but having many interests. And we had more time, but also possibilities then, because we didn't have the internet. So we filled our time by diversifying our curiosity and interest. Yeah, there are many, because Roma is a beautiful place with many, like they define it, as museum under the sky. So there are many different places. There is one that I love in particular, it's called Giardino degli Aranci, which is a garden where you can see the St. Peter from a little hole in the gate. But to know that you have been a good person, that people have good memories of you on a human level, so that you help the youngsters that work with you to grow, that your family, that you have been a loving father, loving partner, loving son. This is, for me, the most important thing. To leave behind you a legacy that is positive, that is that people really think that you give them your time. The most important commodity is your love and your experience and your care. And this is what is my goal, first and foremost, with the players that I have here. I want to help everybody to develop and everybody to become better. And then if we can win something with St.Truiden, then that would be my dream. I would love to go and celebrate with the supporters in the square. That would be my dream here.